When one pictures the samurai in his or her mind, it conjures up many images and ideas. One may imagine the clash of swords, intimidating armor, or Tom Cruise. However, one samurai tradition stands out over the rest. Seppuku. The tradition of ritual suicide is one of the most iconic and brutal images we have of the samurai. To understand seppuku, one must look back at its origins and its evolutions throughout Japanese history. Seppuku finds its origins in mythology. According to the Chronicle of the Geography and Climate of Harima, written in 716 AD, the first ritual suicide was allegedly performed in Harima, where a goddess disemboweled herself after having an argument with her husband. In the 11th century, the newly risen samurai class began to perform seppuku, and the custom spread throughout the 13th century. It was during the 15th to 17th century that seppuku became most prevalent. This was the time of Sengoku, or Warring States period. Seppuku was a samurai's way to express his warrior pride and courage on the battlefield. It also prevented a samurai's capture at the hands of the enemy, and allowed them to restore their honor after defeat. The Tokugawa period, the 17th to 19th century, is when seppuku became institutionalized as a form of capital punishment, with very specific requirements and regulations. There were several preparations to be performed before one could commit seppuku, such as bathing, proper attire, and a last meal. As the Tokugawa period enjoyed relative peace, ritual suicide was not performed on the battlefield, but in front of public officials. During this time frame, it should be noted that seppuku was technically no longer suicide, as a kaishaku, or second, decapitated the samurai after he had cut his belly. This form of punishment was reserved specifically for the samurai, in order to uphold their honor and allow them to decide their own fate. There were several different reasons for seppuku to be performed. The motivation could range from taking responsibility for a mistake to proving one's innocence. This affinity for an honorable death rises from the way of the samurai. According to Hagakure, the book of the samurai, the way of the samurai is found in death. As such, a samurai must always be prepared for death at any given moment. If a samurai were given the choice between death and dishonor, the choice is simple.